Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you how to divide with one-digit divisors. So if you take a look at these examples, this should be a review from elementary school. How to do long division with a divisor that's only a single digit. I want you to copy down these two example problems and all the long division that I do, and then I'm going to give you some problems to try at home. So let's try this first one, 721 divided by 6. The first number is my dividend. That goes on the inside. And I'm dividing by 6. That's my divisor, goes on the outside. Remember, the order in which we divide in long division is we divide, then we multiply, then we subtract, then bring down. And there's a couple of mnemonic devices that you can use. Move this little guy out of the way. Oh, can't move it out of the way. Okay. Couple of mnemonic devices. You can say dad, mom, sister, brother. Trying to think of any other ones I know. There's like dead monkey smell bad. Does McDonald's sell burgers? There's a whole bunch of different ways to remember the order in which we divide. So I'm going to follow these steps. First thing I'm going to do is divide 6 into 7. How many times does 6 go into 7? And that is 1. I'm going to carefully line up my numbers. 6 goes into 7 one time. I divide it. Now I'm going to multiply 1 times 6, and I write that number here. Now I'm going to subtract. I'm subtracting to see what I have remaining to carry over to the next space. Subtracted. Now I'm going to bring down. I'm going to bring down the next number. So I'm essentially dividing 6 into each little part of this bigger dividend or number. Now I'm going to start over again. I'm going to divide 6 into 12. 6 goes into 12 2 times. Because I know that 2 times 6 is 12. I'm going to subtract again to see what my remainder is. I have no remainder. I'm going to bring down the 1, and I'm going to divide all over again. I now divide 6 into 1. Does 6 go into 1? No, it doesn't. So I have to put a 0 up here. 6 does not go into 1, so I'm going to put a 0. And again, I'm going to multiply. 0 times 6 is 0. Subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. And when you have nothing else to bring down, you are finished. If you have a remainder down here at the bottom, if this number is not 0, then you're going to bring that up as your remainder. So this is going to be remainder 1. I'm going to show you next week how else we can use those remainders. In middle school math, we actually don't write remainder 1. I'm going to teach you that next week. For now, you can use the R to show what is remaining. Okay, let's try another one. Again, let's use the mnemonic device. Dad, mom, sister, brother. Okay, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. If you didn't already know that. Now I'm going to divide 418 by 4. Okay, I'm going to divide the 4 into each little bit. So I'm breaking this into the separate parts. So I'm dividing 4 into 4. 4 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. I'm going to subtract, see what my remainder is. It's 0. Now I'm going to bring down the very next number. That's a 1. And now I start over again, divide. I'm now dividing 4 into my new number that I made here. 4 doesn't go into 1, so I need to put a 0. Notice how I'm lining up my numbers here. So 0 times 4 is 0. I'm going to subtract, I'm going to get 1. I'm going to bring down my next digit, which is an 8. And now I'm going to start all over again. I'm going to divide 4 into the 18. 4 goes into 18 4 times. I'm just thinking of my 4 times tables here. So 4 goes into 18 4 times because 4 times 4 is 16. I'm subtracting. I subtract. I got a remainder of 2. And when I go to bring down, I see there's nothing else to bring down. I have no other numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and pop 2 up as my remainder. I have 2 left over. Remainder 2. Make sure you wrote down those 2 examples. Now I'd like you to try some. I have 4 problems here I want you to try. Make sure you're writing this all in your journal and pause the video. When you're finished with all 4 problems, you can unpause the video and we'll go over them. If you find yourself getting stuck, you can certainly unpause the video and watch me go over another 1 or 2 and then unpause and try again on your own. Alright, let's go over these. 98 divided by 5. The first one, I'm going to go through these a little bit faster because hopefully you've already completed them. 5 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. Remainder 4. Bring down the 8. Now I'm going to divide 5 into 48. And I'm thinking of my 5 times table, so that is 9. Because 9 times 5 is 45. I subtract, and my remainder is 3. So that's what I'm going to write up here. How to do on number 1? Did you get 19 remainder 3? Okay, let's look at number 2. Number 2 is 438 divided by 6. Okay, this is a little bit different. When I start to divide, 6 doesn't go into 4. 6 doesn't go into 4. So I'm going to have to put a 0 here. And there is this little shortcut you can take at this point. If you ever get a 0 as your very first part of your quotient, your answer, you could just go on to the next number and just read it right here, instead of writing down the 0 and subtracting. You can now ask yourself, how many times does 6 go into 43? If that doesn't make sense, I'll go ahead and write down all the steps. 0 times 6 is 0. I subtract, and I get 4. Then I bring down the 3. You see the 43? We didn't really need to write the 0 down because we know that anything minus 0 is that same number. So you can just go over like that. Okay, divide 6 into 43. Think of your 6 times tables. That is 7. Because 7 times 6 is 42. Now I subtract, and I get 1. Bring down that 8. Divide 6 into 18. Think of your 6's. 6 goes into 18 3 times. Because 3 times 6 is 18 exactly. I have a remainder of 0 here. So I don't need to write remainder anything. I have nothing left over. Okay, let's check number 3. 938 divided by 7. Here. Okay, now I'm dividing by 7, so I have to think of my 7 times table. If you're not proficient in your times tables, I really need you to practice. This should reiterate how important it is. So, 7 goes into 9 one time, because 1 times 7 is 7. I'm going to subtract. Bring down the 3. 7 goes into 23. 7 goes into 23 3 times, because 3 times 7 is 21. I subtract. I get 2. Bring down the 8. 7 goes into 28 4 times, because 4 times 7 is exactly 28. And I again have a remainder of nothing, 0. All right, let's go over the very last one. 725 divided by 10. I'll write it up here. 725 divided by 10. Now this time, I know I said we were only doing single digit divisors, but 10 is an easy double digit. We all know how to count by tens. We all know our 10 times tables, right? So this shouldn't be too hard. Okay, 10 divided into 7. Well, 10 doesn't go into 7, so we're going to have to put a 0 here. Do you remember the shortcut? Let's try it. 10 into 72. 10 goes into 72 7 times, because 7 times 10 is 70. Now I subtract. I get a remainder of 2. Bring down the 5. 10 goes into 25 2 times. 10, 20. Because 2 times 10 is 20. I get a remainder of 5, and I have nothing else to bring down, so this is going to be my remainder. 72, remainder 5. Bring all these notes to class tomorrow, and we will practice long division again. I'll see you then.